All right, guys and ladies, we are back with part 2 of the pocket weaving tutorial. So what we did last time was we got all of this drawn out in video 1. If you need to go back and watch video 1, you're probably looking for the 2023 video. I went ahead and cut these teeth, I refer to them as teeth, on the first part. And I cut some of the ones on the second part. And what I'm talking about is the spaces right here between where we drew the lines. We need to cut that space. But it's really important that you stop cutting when you get to this line here. Because if you cut down too far into that, it can affect how your weaving comes off of the cardboard later on. And you don't want to have any gaps or weird spots. So I'll just show you what I'm talking about here. I've got these few left right here, so I'm just going to go and I'm going to stop cutting right there at that point. So I'm just going to go again, and I've already done all these, and I've already done all these. So just wanted to show you that step. The next thing is, if your cardboard isn't one long piece, which it can be, but it doesn't have to be, you can always tape the two together. And you want it to be as symmetrical as you can. My cardboard is off just a little bit, but in the grand scheme of life, it's really going to be okay. As long as you have the same number of teeth on both sides, then you're fine. You're good to go. What we do need to do, though, is I'm going to flip this over to the back. Wouldn't it be great if I got sponsorship from said snack cake, but I do not. So I just need some tape, and I need to tape these two pieces of cardboard together, because basically what's going to happen is we want that to be together like that, because eventually our loom is going to be two-sided. Just like when you do a weaving, a pocket, a pouch, it is two-sided also. Basically, this will slip inside there. You'll work. This will come out later on, just to show you. But before we can do that, we've got to get the warp strings on here. And the warp strings are the strings inside the weaving. They are the vertical strings. I don't know if you can see those black ones inside there, but that is, oh, I messed that up. There we go. That is what holds the weaving together in place, are those vertical warp strings inside the weaving. So we have to get that put on. Let me zoom out a little more, hopefully. Nope. The camera has to just go up. Okay, we can do that too. So, warp string. This happens to be carpet warp. If you're not one of my students watching this video, carpet warp is pretty cheap. But if you can't find a carpet warp, any kind of like twine or thread that doesn't have any stretch to it. This is pretty taut, you know. There's no stretch to it. So that's the goal for the warp strings. So I'm just going to spool some of this off, so I have plenty to work with here. And then, it doesn't matter which end you start on, you're going to take your warp string, excuse me, and I don't know, I'd leave about a finger length, okay, to hang over on the back side. You're going to take this little thread, you're going to pop it in between tooth number 1 and tooth number 2, and then when you look on the back, we need to tape this down, okay? Because as you're weaving, you don't want it to come out on you. You don't want it to come out. So I'm just going to tape that down really well. So that's going to hold that one in place. Then, to warp the loom, aka the cardboard, we're just going to work our way from one side to the other. Now, there's a wrong way and a right way to do this. The wrong way would be to come down here between tooth 1 and 2, and then flip it over and go into here, okay, and then keep going like that. The only place you want strings is on the front of your cardboard, not on the back like this, okay? So if this happens, you have to undo all of that and redo it. Let me see where I'm at. Okay, so I'll stop moving everything around now. Okay. I started here between 1 and 2, and I came down here between 1 and 2. You want this string to be tight, but not so tight that it starts to pick up your cardboard. Okay, you see that? You want it to be tight, okay, but not warp the cardboard tight. So I'm going to put this in between 1 and 2, and then I'm immediately going to come back out. Let me zoom over here. Between 3 and 4, just like that. I mean, 2 and 3, sorry. So I went 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and then I just looped it around right there. Okay, there's a little black string. Between 2 and 3. And I'm going to come back down to 2 and 3 on this end and pull it snug, but not cardboard bending snug. Okay. Oop, that's a little too snug. I saw it move. There we go. Just like that. So now I'm between 3 and 4 on this end. So I'm going to come down here between 3 and 4. And then right back out between 4 and 5. Just looped it around. Come back down on. Problem is I don't have enough table working space here. There we go. I'll go down here between 4 and 5. Do the same thing. Just barely lift it up, just high enough to get it around those teeth, just like that. And I am going to do this whole process, so if you're beyond this, you can skip ahead, but if you're one of my students, just work with me. Come on. All right. See, that's not good. I don't want that to happen. So if your cardboard has other little cardboard cutouts, make sure you don't accidentally stick your string in the wrong one there. So I need a little more here. Just going to go along. There's that one. Come out the next. Go along. Go in that one. Come out the next. Need some more string. There we go. And mine is pulling a little bit, but it's not like major, so if it looks like a bow or a harp, yeah, you're pulling too tightly there. So there you go. And notice I'm like laying my arm on here, and that's just to help me keep it flat while I'm pulling it through these teeth. I've done this for so many years now, I just kind of do it instinctively. So I forget to mention that I'm just kind of using my arm as an assistant here. There we go. While I make sure that you guys can see. And back out. And back up here. So I'm in my last one. Again, I'm going to leave.
May I have your attention, please? May I We're going to start dismissing about 15 for free today. We have detergent is here, and we're going to try to pass it out during the line, so make our line go slower. So we are going to try to start about quarter till. When I call everybody at quarter till or 2 or 3 minutes before that, let's be ready to rock and roll, okay? And we'll be calling up our Good News Club momentarily.
Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, so I've just pulled it.
Good News Club will be called first, and then we'll do offers, and then we'll do everybody else, okay? So everybody just be ready.
Sorry, I'm not going to redo this video just for an announcement. Okay, so there we go. And then I'm going to tape this tail to the back also, like I did the first tail. Does it matter that they're both on the same side? No. You know, does it matter that, and I'm really kind of pushing that, I want it to stick. Does it matter that my strings look like they're slanted? No, not really, because at the end of the day, when you take the cardboard out, no one's going to know that your measurements were off, or that as long as you have the same number of cuts, it's going to be okay. All right, so that is that portion. The only step left in the warping of the loom is to take it, and we're going to fold it in half like that so that both sides are now strung, and I'm just going to press that down. If you have masking tape, that would be great. It's a little easier than packaging tape for this next part, but the last step, and you'd be able to see what I'm doing a little better. I apologize for that. But the last step is to put the tape across the top of the teeth, but you don't want to stick the tape to your black or whatever color warp strings. So I am going to run that across there, and then I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to fold this shut. The reason we do this is so that as you are weaving your weft strings, those are the strings that are visible on the outside that are going horizontally, you don't want your warp strings to pop out of the teeth while you're working the yarn across the warp strings. So we tape that shut, and it just helps keep the teeth in place, and it keeps the warp strings in place so that as you're working, we'll be able to keep it from falling apart. So that is all for video number 2, and I will show you how to start in the next video the actual weaving process. So thanks for watching, guys, ladies. I will see you next time.